What's going on, great people? I'm sure by now, well, of course, unless you're living on a rock, uh, the tragic situation of Charlie Kirk getting assassinated on college campus in Utah. Very unfortunate incident. Very, very unfortunate event. My condolences goes out to his family, his children, all of his loved ones, his friends, anyone that's close to him, anyone that was impacted by this situation. My condolences goes out to you. What we're going to go over is the amount of degeneracy that's being displayed from the left. We're truly living and walking amongst demons. No other way to put it. Now, I don't want to hear anything about this isn't us, this isn't America. This is America. This is America. Whether you like it or not, this has become America because this country has this country has a cancer that has been allowed to grow and spread for the longest. Nobody took the time to address the issue. Nobody took the time to try to combat it. Nobody took the time, and it happened way before Trump. Before Trump got into office, I know a lot of people may think, "Oh, Trump is the cause of all that." No, Trump is not the cause of anything. Trump exposed the deep state and the government to the people. Trump put eyes on the corruption that was going on within this country. So it wasn't Trump. It's bigger than Trump. It's bigger than Trump. This goes all the way back to when the CIA had Project Mockingbird, when they were, allowing CIA agents to infiltrate the media and shape public opinions. This goes all the way back to the civil rights days, when the communists were involved within the civil rights movement. This is why I don't even want to say that. I don't even like saying community, like the Black community, because that alone sounds Marxist, because it makes it seem like all Black people are somehow tied into this tight knit family or community, whatever. Then that's not the case, because we're all individuals at the end of the day. But this is why Marxism is embedded in the Black population. Black people are Marxist minded, and they don't even know it. All of this viewing white people as the oppressors, all of this wanting the government to pay reparations, all of this of placing blame on slavery and wanting something, and you weren't even the victim of anything. Your ancestors weren't the victim of anything, but yet you want white people to come in and transfer their wealth to you. Your vote blue no matter who, even though blue isn't doing anything for you. Viewing yourself as a victim when you have every opportunity in America to get out there and do whatever you want to do. Nobody's holding you back. So it's been this sickness growing within America, even with white guilt. White guilt, that's a sickness. All this CRT, DEI, all that stuff has been getting watered and allowed to spread for decades. Now all of a sudden it's everything is coming to head. You have Trump having an assassination attempt on his life. You have a healthcare CEO that got assassinated in broad daylight. You have Charlie Kirk that just got assassinated in broad daylight on a college campus. All for what? For his views, for his values, religious beliefs. What is it? I think it's because he had the true key. He had a solid game plan to captivate the future generations. He understood how to communicate with them. He understood how to get them to challenge their own beliefs. Open debate, free speech. No attacks, no fights, no demonizing, just straight truth. And he'll allow you to speak and express yourself, and he'll just debate you and may the best opinions win. But you have some people that can't take the truth because of their mindset, because of their beliefs and values, because of how their minds have been shaped over the years, what they get from their parents, what they see within their communities, what they see when they cut on the news 24/7, what they see when they watch certain TV shows or certain movies, and they have certain scenes that will make it seem like, oh, you're oppressed and the white folks are bad and this, that, and the third. Hell, even the former president, Joe Biden himself, gave a commencement speech and claimed that white supremacy was the greatest threat to America. White supremacy, out of everything, white supremacy is the greatest threat to America. White supremacy now, not China, not cooked up viruses in labs, not open borders and illegal immigrants flooding into our communities and bringing their own culture, and they want to see the collapse and fall of America. None of that. Not the attacks from globalist elites wanting to destroy our culture and destroy America. None of that. But white supremacy is the greatest threat to America. That's what Joe Biden said. So when I say this country has a cancer, this country is sick, it's because of things like that. It's because of networks like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, people like Joy Reid, Van Jones, Abby Phillips, and the people that they invite onto their networks and platforms. They constantly talk about white supremacy, racism, fascists, threat to democracies, Hitler, Nazis. All day, every day, 24/7, they're pounding it into your head. And some people, especially the older crowd, they live by CNN. They don't know nothing else. They think legacy media is all facts, the truth. A lot of those people aren't even on platforms like X to get an alternate view, an alternate news that is exposing the lies from legacy media. So they're being indoctrinated by a machine. And that machine is a part of the left. The Democratic Party is it's not just the party, right? It's not just the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is just the front. It's just the front. That's where they handpick their people to go into office and push certain agendas and to draft legislation to pass their agenda. But it's bigger than that. You got to think about the people that are behind the Democratic Party, the elites that are behind the Democratic Party, the same elites that forced Joe Biden out of the race and put Kamala Harris into position without even having a primary. The same people that were behind the auto pen. It's a sickness. So when you have the very elite sitting at the top, the very elite sitting at the top that have turned this Democratic Party into this new opposition party that's full blown, out in the open, backing Democratic, socialists, when communists, Marxists, whatever you want to call it, they all, to me, all that shit goes in the same boat. It goes in the same can. Socialists, communists, Marxists, they're all of the same cloth. They're all cut from the same cloth. It's not much different. You can go on the streets, you can ask them, you can have conversations with them, and they may say, oh, we're for these, and this how we want to go about getting this, and this how we want to do things, and this how we see it. And then you go to the next person, go to the communists. Oh, we believe in this, we believe in that. But at the end of the day, it's about being anti-capitalist, it's about anti-capitalism, being anti-America, seizing the means of production, doing away with the Constitution, destroying our republic. They want to get rid of this. They want to get rid of the Supreme Court. They want to get rid of the Electoral College. They want to get rid of parental rights. They all just want to control you. And socialism, communism, all that shit is just a means. It's just a pathway forward to get to where they're trying to go. But we've been off topic. What I really want to talk about, man, like I said, we're walking and living amongst demons. The things I saw yesterday, man, after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, God rest his soul, was disgusting. Disgusting from the left. People actually cheering for the death of a man. I don't care if you hate the man, you disagree with what he believed in. When you at the point to where you feel like you need to celebrate a person's death, murder, assassination, at that point in your life, man, you need a reality check. You need to go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror as you're saying these things, as you're cheering on the death of a father, of a husband, of a son. Go look in the mirror as you're cheering on this thing, because people are so caught up with being in their phone. People are so caught up with opening up an app and just saying whatever, because they feel like they have, in other words, another community that feels the exact same way they do, in which they do. But that's also sick, because there's a whole community of these people that are behaving the same way. It's disgusting. And you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. You don't have to like Charlie Kirk. You don't have to like anyone, but to wish death upon them because of their beliefs, and you think you're that's going to benefit you how? The death of this man benefits you how? We have Amanda Seals. Amanda Seals here. Let's dive into what she has to say.
I can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk. First of all, Charlie Kirk don't believe in empathy. He said it's a bad thing. He said it's some new age made up shit. He also said people got to be sacrificed in order to protect guns. If he was saying that while fighting for reparations.
Look at this idiot. Look at this idiot. Clown. I can see why these types of women, I can see why they push for abortions, man. They're evil. They're wicked. They don't care about killing their kids. Look how evil she is. This is pure wickedness. And like I said, these people love to pick up the phone and go on degenerate rants like this. She's bringing up reparations. Reparations. and using it as a reason to not have any empathy, because Charlie Kirk didn't advocate for reparations. How sick of an individual do you have to be to think this way, to have this type of mindset?
I may have a little bit of empathy. But this white on white violence, he died? Damn, B. Life comes at you fast.
Pathetic.
I can't have empathy for someone like Charlie Kirk because I cannot be in his shoes. I have no frame of reference for that. I have no cognizance for that. There literally is nothing about his.
What does that even mean? You can't have any empathy for him because you're not in his shoes. You weren't in George Floyd's shoes neither, but I guarantee you had empathy for that man. You didn't know him from a can of paint. But why? Because his skin is black. You feel like you knew him. Because his skin is black, you felt like you knew him. That man, we're not even gonna get into George Floyd, but I just want y'all to hear how evil these people are.
Existence that I can relate to. So I don't have any empathy.
And keep in mind, she's a self-proclaimed radical. I think she called herself. She called herself a radical, or I think she called herself a radical. In other words, something to not full on call herself a Marxist, but a radical, same damn thing as a Marxist. They have the same ideology.
I have no connectivity. I have more connectivity to someone who is a complete stranger that dies of a drug overdose than I do to someone like Charlie Kirk.
How does that even make sense? You have more of a connection with a complete stranger who dies of a drug overdose. How does that even make sense? How does that even make sense? You have more of a connection with a stranger that has a drug overdose. How does that make sense? But people like this, they try to lie to themselves to make themselves feel good about their wickedness. How they try to mask the fact that they're so screwed up in the head. They give off little examples like this, and it makes zero sense. You don't have any connection with Charlie Kirk. Mainly, you won't say it because what you really want to say it because he's white. He doesn't advocate for reparations, but you say you have more of a connection with a stranger that dies out over a drug overdose. That doesn't make an ounce of sense.
Connectivity to someone who is a complete stranger that dies of a drug overdose than I do to someone like Charlie Kirk, because life is hard.
Because life is hard.
And I understand that. Because
we see that life is hard because the man just got assassinated in broad daylight. That's how hard life is. He got assassinated for sharing his beliefs and being willing to debate his views. So yeah, life is hard. You're right about that. Life is hard because clearly you can't even go out in public and debate, have a civil discord. Now, people have to hire a security detail just to go on campus and debate about issues because life is hard, right, Amanda? Life is hard. We have people getting assassinated in broad daylight on college campuses. Yeah, life is hard, but you can't relate to that.
It takes very little for someone to end up committing themselves to an existence of numbness. I understand that. That man got murdered at 31 at a college event in the middle of a sentence talking about black gangs. What a
got murdered, assassinated at 31, It's talking about black gangs. Yet you don't have any smoke. You don't have any issues with the actual black community, the black population is getting that are getting murdered, the black kids, the black children, the black adolescents that are getting murdered every day for being a part of black gangs. But you want to point out the fact that he was talking about black gangs. So in your mind, that serves him right. Because he's talking about what others are afraid to. Because the truth hurts, right? Truth hurts. Black people are getting killed at rates that are far beyond anything else by their own people. And here you are talking about you can't relate to someone like Charlie Kirk. Yeah, he's putting the truth out there. He's telling the truth about what's going on. He's not bashing anyone. He's just simply telling the truth. And someone with her same type of mindset took him out.
Where to go? Oh, Chanel. He was actually taken out by an old white man in one of the whitest, whitery, witty whites states in existence.
What are you even talking
He
about?
didn't get murked in Watts now. They took him out in Utah. They said Lady Oleana. I want you to know it was us. Ain't no way.
You see that cat in the background? That's what she's gonna grow old with. Because who's gonna deal with that type of mindset? Charlie Kirk got assassinated by, yeah, sure, it may have been a white guy, but it's the same white liberal that will march in black neighborhoods to prevent the crime from being cleaned up. The same type of white liberal that will put a BLM sign in their yard, but doesn't give two fucks about a black life. How can you? When you know somewhere like DC, Trump is trying to clean up the area, but yet these out of town liberals are going there and protesting to keep the crime there. When the majority of homicides in DC, the majority of homicide victims are black. Black. But white liberals are quick to go and protest the crime cleanup. And that same type of liberal assassinated Charlie Kirk for speaking on black violence. So what's the real issue, man? Can we not talk about black violence? Either you're going to be black and be a part of the violence, or you're going to be white and monetize the violence by being a politician, a Democrat, and keeping crime in these black areas that you're always over. No matter if you're black, a black Democrat, white Democrat, Asian Democrat, Hispanic Democrat, it doesn't matter. Democrat, look at all the Democrat cities. Look at all the Democrat run cities. Every black majority area is ran by a Democrat. And they monetize the crime because they're not doing anything about the crime. They always talking about defunding the police. They always talking about this community policing, whatever that is, as if that can't be corrupted and one-sided and cause more issues. But she's talking about, oh, he got killed. Charlie Kirk got assassinated in one of the whitest places ever by a white guy. Yeah, the same white guy, the same white liberal that would love to see the black community continue to take each other out.
It was a black man that took that man out. Not no Utah.
She's so fucking ignorant.
Mm-hmm. Right as that bullet hit him, that man was in the middle of talking shit about gangs. White on white crime.
So we can't talk shit about gangs.
These thugs, y'all. These thugs. I can't.
That's so pathetic. That's so pathetic, bro. That's so pathetic. And it's a lot of other comments that I saw from liberals cheering on the death of this man like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. See if I can pull it up real quick. And that'll be the last clip. Here's another woman.
Finally, you bitches starting to move and shake, fucking shake, bitch. It's in your real fucking shooter. Stop sending. Y'all gonna send damn. Oh, thank you. And then people talking about some words can't hurt you. That's why we're in a situation now, because y'all still think that. If words couldn't, Charlie Kirk,
She literally looks
Kirk,
like she's
you're in the
demon
low
possessed.
fucking room, bitch. Oh, fucking finally, you bitches starting to move and shake, fucking shake, bitch. It's in your real fucking shooter. Stop sending. Y'all gonna send damn. Oh, thank you. And then,
do you see how these are demons, bro? These aren't regular people. How does a person get this way? Like, how does a person get to this point in their lives? How? What do you have to consume to reach this point in your life? What do you have to consume to do that? Is it too much MSNBC? Is it too much race hustling by fake black leaders like Al Sharpton and others who profit off of like these fake black preachers, man, that like Jamal Bryant, that constantly pushing this social justice crap and CRT? Like what is it? What makes a person reach this point?
no, because y'all still think that. If words couldn't change and alter how you think, why the fuck are there motivational speakers? They're literally motivational speakers for evil. That's what the fuck they are.
For evil? What do you think what are you? What do you think you are? Motivational speakers for evil, yet the man was assassinated by evil? The man just highlight the issues that are going on within society and y'all call that evil? He talks about the fatherlessness in homes, the gangs that are destroying communities, ending lives, young lives. And y'all call that evil?
Start shutting them the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's time to shut the fuck up. Shut this shit the fuck up. And y'all have this big fucking MAGA rally with your MAGA hats on. Yeah, this is what the fuck is going to happen to you if y'all keep this shit up. We're done. They're done. They finally starting to move and finally starting to shake.
Evil. She said, we're done. She's taking full accountability of the shooter's action. And talking as if they're one big community. We're done. Pay attention to what they say, y'all. Pay attention to what they say. They're demons.
Charlie would have wanted it this way. He was so for guns, so for the violence, that he died by one. Isn't that beautiful? Rest in peace, Charlie.
Isn't it beautiful? Rest in peace.
And if you look at it for real, Charlie would have wanted it this way. He was so for guns, so for the violence, that he died by one. Isn't that beautiful?
These are your joyful warriors, your joyful liberals that are so humane and they want to fight for everything, but yet they can't stand opposing arguments, opposing views. They can't stand it. But yet they're so for Earth. They're so for the climate. They're so for everyone's rights. They're so for all the animals. They're so for everything. Black lives. They're so for. Yet the opposing view is the line that you can't cross. Having an opposing view. Man, these people are neo-Nazis, man.
I had a tummy ache this morning. Stay alive out there. I heard someone got shot today. I had a tummy ache this morning. Stay alive out there.
They're too comfortable. They're too comfortable, bro. They're too comfortable spreading this rhetoric. They're too comfortable. Then you have to ask yourself, why are they so comfortable with putting this out there like that and not caring about their digital footprint, not caring about who sees it, not caring about it going viral? How did they become so comfortable? One, because the standards of our Congress and representatives have dropped so low that every time you turn on TV, you see a Democratic Congress member cursing up a storm. Someone like Jasmine Crockett, every Democrat representative, all they talk about is fighting, violence, fascism, Hitler, Nazi. That's all you hear them talking about. So when you're a representative who are supposed to be who are supposed to be leading by example, because they represent not only the people, but they're in a place to where they're enacting legislation. They're a part of the three branches, man, the three separate powers. They're in the legislative body. But yet they're the ones that have dropped the ball so low and pushed nothing but degeneracy. So now their followers and their constituents feel like they can be just as bad as their representatives. Oh, man.
And I hope he burns in hell. And I really don't want to hear any moral superiority from the people who were just laughing about undocumented immigrants getting eaten up by alligators. Okay. That motherfucker had to go. Yes, he deserves to die, and I hope he burns in hell. And I really don't want to hear any moral superiority from the people who were just laughing about undocumented immigrants getting eaten up by alligators. Okay. That motherfucker had to go. Yes, he deserves to die, and I hope.
And when y'all go look in the mirror, what do you see? Do you see a morally superior person after all these, after recording videos like this? What do you see in the mirror? Like how can you live with yourself acting like this?
I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would be a little bit louder, but I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is, and then he like fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming, and then we all ran.
Can you describe just, did he appear to be moving afterward or what?
Not at all. I personally believe he was dead on impact.
Oh my goodness.
Basically, I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would.
No words, man. No words. No words. No words. No words, man.
Leftists celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Watch this.
Bye, Charlie Kirk. Like you said, people getting shot and killed for the Second Amendment is so worth it. I never thought we'd agree on anything. Bye.
Sick.
I just wanna be part of your symphony.
By the sword, die by the sword. He did say that gun deaths were an acceptable side effect of gun rights. Congratulations to Charlie Kirk for becoming the new poster child for gun awareness and violence.
Sick.
Leftists celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Watch this.
And they're so comfortable with sharing this stuff. They're so comfortable with sharing it. That's the crazy part. And there's no coming to terms with people like this. There is no coming to terms with that, man. It's at this point, it's not even political sides. It's only two sides, and that's good versus evil. It's good versus evil. A political party and political views should not push you to become a low life like this. It should not push you to wish death upon others like this and cheer it on and celebrate it. Y'all get in the comment section, man. Y'all let me know like what y'all think about this. Once again, man, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. My condolences to his family, his friends, all his loved ones, man. Sad situation.